So the reason why I like the quad kit the most is because it is designed to feed a family of 8 every 5 to 7 days, and you can also profit on that food if you're not going to eat it as well, so you can literally eat your business.
Hello and welcome to Growing Fruition, where we are a homesteading podcast, vlog, and adventure channel. Our mission is to help people grow their own food and start their own microgreens business. And if you're seeing this, you have probably already purchased our grow kit or are thinking about doing so at growingfruition.com. So first thing that you're going to want to see right here is a bag that you get in the mail. And then you have a little brochure, and you're going to want to read that. That's got some good Easter eggs in there for you. And also, you're going to have a business card, so you can read a little bit about me and my business. And then you're going to have your seed pack, if you've got the sweet pea organic or the black oil sunflower. And also, you've got your gallon of soil here. So right off the bat, you're going to see these trays. One of them has holes. That's so the roots can go down in there and that the soil can drink. That's where the soil goes into. And then the other two are trays without holes. So this tray is going to go underneath, and then you're going to pour your water in here and then set your soil and your seeds in there. And then this other tray is used as a blackout. So this helps for germination, and it also helps for blackout phase. So the very first step that you guys are going to want to do to get started, and we're going to take you step by step, and guys, in the description there's chapters, so you can always skip ahead as well. So what you're going to want to do is fill up your trays with your seeds, and you're going to want to do it in a way where they blanket it, but it's not too dense. So I'll show you what I mean. You've got about 2 or 3 plantings in this one seed bag. So if you guys got the combo kit, you've got up to 6 plants, which is awesome if you're trying to start your own microgreens business, because you could straight up take that to a farmer's market. So you're going to take the seeds and you're going to just spread them in there to where it's dense. So just about like that, guys. You're going to want that in there so that your peas, you got to pretend like there's soil on here now. So you want your peas dense, but you don't want them crowded, because then that will be a contributor to other things that you don't desire, like mold. So then once you have a good idea, you've got about 2 or 3 plants in here per package that we send you. You're going to submerge them in the water. And the reason why you're going to do this is because you're going to want to have those peas saturated. What happens is, one of these peas, when they are in that water overnight from 24 to 48 hours, we're going to do 24 as the standard for us in this operation. You're going to have that taproot come out of the pea. The taproot is what goes into that soil to get those nutrients and all those earthworm castings with nature's care, and all the bone meal and all the kale, and what helps grow that plant into the green. So as you can see here, this is what it's going to look like when you guys are ready to put it under lights after blackout, and then this is what it's going to look like about 24 hours after. And we'll take you guys through that step by step so you know exactly what that looks like and how to do it right. Okay guys, so the sunflowers, they are a little bit different story than the peas. They live in husks, where the peas, they live inside of a shell. So what you're going to want to do with this is the same exact process. And by the way, guys, everything that we send to you, they are non-GMO. We strongly stand by that. You guys can always get that on growingfruition.com. We have a whole Growery kit, so you have the racks and the lights and all the tools that we use and all the things that make our lives easier, all for your guys' browsing and perusing. So make sure that you check that out at growingfruition.com. So same thing, you're going to spread these out dense but not overcrowded. So just about like that. And as you guys can see, you've got about 2 or 3 plants worth that we send you. And then same thing, so you're going to take these and you're going to put them in some water. And with the sunflowers, you are going to want to make sure that you have them submerged, and you're going to want to try and, tease them into that water and kind of drown them a little bit, because they're buoyant. Right now they have air in those husks and in those shells where the seed is, and you're going to want to get those fully wet. So there you have it. You've got both of these set to go. Make sure that you take your blackout trays without holes and set them over the top just like this, so that encourage in the darkness that taproot to kind of come out and coax it out. And you guys are going to let that soak for overnight, 24 hours preferably. 24 hours later, you guys have given your seeds a soak, and now it is time to plant out of your grow kit. So you've got your 3 trays here in your gallon of soil, you're going to want to find that tray with holes, and you're going to want to put it inside of your tray without holes. And the first thing that you're going to want to do after that, or the second thing, is you're going to take your seeds and you're going to drain them. So find yourself a strainer, any kind will work, and just get all of that excess water out of there. So we will start with the peas first. And now that they are all drained, what you can do is open up your gallon of soil that came with your grow kit and make sure that that is nice and even here. So you get about 3 harvests from your grow kit. And then just make sure that's nice and even. You're gonna make it go to the first line on the bottom. You guys will see one line on the bottom, another line, and then the very top of the tray. You're gonna go to the first indentation. So you guys will be able to see that right there. And just make it even, and you don't wanna press it down too much. You want that soil nice and fluffy. So then you take your seeds and you are going to scatter them. Remember what we said, we want them dense but not crowded. So they're going to go in there just like this. And you can plant as little as you want or as much as you want. It's all in your preference. So some people like to do a little bit more, some people like to do a little bit less. And this is about what it's going to be. So now what you're going to do is kind of just space them out, just kind of use your hands and make sure that it is along those lines that we said of dense but not crowded. So that's what it's going to look like, guys. Again, just a reminder, you've got about 3 harvests per grow kit. So that's pretty cool. Every 5 to 7 weeks, you can expect a harvest. Now, if you guys want to have more than 1 harvest every 5 to 7 days, you can get our double kit and our big kit as well. And those come with 2 harvests a week and 3 harvests a week. So the next step is you're going to use this other tray that you have without holes. And this is the germination process, okay? So you're going to put it on just like this. And you're going to press it down and you're going to squish all them peas into that loose, nice, lofty soil. And you're going to just make sure that you're not destroying it. You know, you don't want to crack your tray, but you are putting a little bit of elbow grease in to get that seed to soil contact initiated. So then you're going to want to take yourself a paver. Something like this, it's got to be anywhere from 5 pounds all the way up to maybe 10 pounds is a little much for this situation, but about like this. And you're going to want to place it as proportionally as you can and just kind of let that sit like that. And that is the germination part. So if you guys are in a specific type of climate, what you can do to help this germination process is actually take a spray bottle and get those seeds nice and wet. So if you are keeping where you are going to grow this grow kit anywhere from 65 degrees Fahrenheit to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and you've got a humidity level that's below 40%, increase that seed to soil contact and coax that taproot, why we soaked it, to germinate a little bit easier by spraying it with a spray bottle. And then you can go ahead and put your weight on there. And then from this point on, you're gonna come back in another 24 hours, but it's okay to check up on it and see how it's doing. Just don't leave it off for too long. And I will show you exactly what to look for when the taproot starts to come out of that seed, find the soil, and then that is called the germination phase. And then from there, you're going to black it out, and we will get to that part next time. So the next thing that we're gonna show you guys is the sunflowers. So these sunflowers are the same exact draining process. You're going to get your strainer and you're going to get your other bucket and just get those sunflower seeds nice and strained. And you can start to see the black oil sunflower seeds start to split open at around 24 hours. So that taproot is being coaxed out of that seed husk. And that's exactly why we soak them, because we want that germination process to happen quicker than it does naturally, so we can flip these for more profit. So again, if you were to get yourself a double kit, you can have 2 harvests going at the same time every week. So this is what that would look like. So you get your 3 trays, and then you get the tray with holes, so the sprouts and the taproots we keep talking about can come through the bottom, and then you put it in the tray with no holes, and that's where the water is going to eventually go when we start to bottom water them. So you take your bag of soil that you get from your grow kit, and you put that in there as well. I just dumped all of it in there just for the sake of it. And you're gonna get that going around in there nice and lofty. Don't press it down, have it nice and fluffy so it can accept those seeds evenly. So then, again, and I'm going to demonstrate in a climate where you want the most moisture as possible. You've got low humidity, so you're doing everything that you can to get increased humidity. You're gonna take the water and you're gonna spritz it like this. About that much, just enough to where you're getting that soil nice and saturated. You don't want the soil swimming, but you want it nice and saturated. And then you take your sunflower seeds, and I like to do these by hand. They're a little bit more stickier. And you just kind of hold your hand up a little bit, and you just drizzle those sunflower seeds around that tray. And you want to make sure that they are dense, but they are not congested, that they're not crowded. So again, we're just going to keep going around. And you guys have probably eaten sunflower seeds before, so basically that's the best way I can equate this whole taproot situation. So the sunflower kernel that you buy in the bags at the gas station for the baseball games is what actually is going to grow that root out into the soil. And that is what is going to grow your microgreen. Because remember guys, microgreens are the adolescent version of fully grown vegetables. They just have 40 times more nutrient density than their fully grown vegetable counterparts. That's why they're so popular, and that's why you're going to have a successful microgreens business, just like mine here. As you can see, there's all sorts of different types of styles and forms and varieties and time of journeys on these racks, from just coming out of blackout to almost 3 days on the lights, and so on and so forth. So now for your intense climates, or if you just want to really get this germination process started, you're going to get those seeds wet again. And you're going to get them nice and saturated. Again, you don't want them swimming, but you want them full of that moisture. So it encourages humidity, but not too much, because we don't want that mold, right? So again, you're taking your tray without holes and you are throwing it right on top here, and you're gonna just encourage that seed to soil contact, and you're gonna push it in the soil as evenly as you can. This is really gonna help that germination process speed up, and then you place that weight right on there as well. And from there, you have your germination station all kitted up and ready to go. So let's set the clock again for another 24 hours, and we will see you guys on the other side. Alrighty guys, so we are here a day later, and we're gonna check on the germination rate for the weighted seed to soil contact. So we're gonna start with the sunflowers. Now this is what you guys can expect to see as you can look at those taproots that are starting to come out of the convex part of that seed and dig into the soil. It's kind of like a little white worm or a little white snake that is trying to burrow its way into those nutrients. And we're going to let this set for just a little while longer. Could be 6 hours, could be 12 hours, could be 24. It just depends on your specific climate and environment. So now we're going to check on the peas. So the peas are also doing the same thing. You can see that taproot coming out, and that's why we soaked them, because the peas are kind of like a diaper, if you will. And once that taproot comes out to find the soil, then you will see the tendrils start to pop up. And that's what we're looking for. When we see the tendrils on both of these situations, then we are going to black it out. One thing that you guys can do, I will show you real quick, is if you want to coax it a little bit, like if your soil is just a bit more dry than you're going to want, you can go ahead and attack it with a little encouragement. So nothing too crazy, just encourage that humidity and that germination in there. And the reason why we didn't do it with the sunflowers is you can let the seeds tell your story. You can see a little bit of a moisture concentration in those trays, so we don't want to add any more. They will have more than enough. So that is the germination progress report. We are now on day 3. So the clock has struck on day 4. You guys are looking forward to switching your germination into blackout. So this is what you're going to look for right here. You have all of those tap roots starting to dig into the ground. Now you're starting to see the seeds lift up. You're starting to see them bend over, and that is what you're going to look for. Now if you look right here, that is a full-blown taproot with developed root hair. As you can see, that literally looks like a wire brush. What you're going to do, and this is really cool to implement this grow system, it's super easy. We make it super easy for you guys. You're just going to take this and you're going to put it over top, and you're going to let those black out just like that. Now let's check the peas. So if you guys got the peas and the sunflowers with your separate kits, this is what they look like. They've got a little tiny fingers that come out on the top of them, and they are ready to be blacked out. So you're going to want to black those out for about half a day. Sometimes it takes a quarter of a day. You're just trying to get them to raise up and to unbend themselves a little bit. If you're really trying to rush a harvest, it is totally fine at this state for you guys to stick these under lights. However, by blacking them out, what you do is you increase your yield, which is the weight by tray, and you're allowing those to grow taller faster. So the amount of growth, like for these were taken out with the blackout that looked similar to this. So instead of blacking these out, I literally just took these and said, okay, you're ready for the lights. And as you can see, there's a good growth there. Like obviously you're going to be able to have a good yield on that tray still, but it's a difference between those peas looking like that and then being a tad higher. And again, we're trying to get you guys to grow food for your family, and we're also trying to kickstart your microgreens business. So this is going to get you the most yields with this harvest kit. So we will see you guys in a little bit for putting them under the lights and showing you kind of the rigmarole for that. Okay, so we are 6 hours later. It is time to get these out of the blackout stage, and we are going to put them on light. So as you can see, it's kind of the similar situation of what we left off. They are starting to grow up a little bit, and that blackout just provides that opportunity we discussed earlier. So you got those trays, just as simple as it sounds. You're putting it right underneath the light. And then since they haven't been watered, it's their first time to get a little drink. So you're going to get your guys' measuring cup or your water cups. And what you're going to do is you're going to lift this top tray up, and you're going to put this water in this tray without holes on bottom. And you're going to just fill up that bottom compartment so that there's water evenly spread across. It's very crucial, because what we're doing right now with these trays as well, to have your surface that you're growing on level, because that water needs to get into that soil level. Now again, as you guys come over here and just watch this real quick, you're going to literally pour this water in this tray, and you're going to let that cover right below those two nipples in the middle. And that's what you're going to understand when it is fully watered. So that's what you guys want to do. These will grow every 5 to 7 days on turnaround. So this is a great way for you guys to start to grow your own food and have a harvest every week for you and your family, as well as those that are trying to kickstart their microgreens business. If you get our quad kit, or if you've already got our quad harvest kit, you can get 4 of these every single week. And if you can get 4 of those and go to your farmer's market, they will yield 4 of these 48-ounce container microgreens, and these sell like hotcakes. It's our best selling of our entire company, and these go for around 25 bucks where we're at. So if you think about it, you can get your money back from that kit, and you can start putting money in your pocket. This is an easy bag, guys. So we are going to let this soak 24/7 in the light. If you guys are growing in a windowsill, or you're just trying to start this out, or for your family, I would recommend maybe doing some light supplementation, but for the most part, we're just going to stick on a 24/7 light schedule, and those will be ready for you in 5 to 7 days, probably 3 days on the rack, 24/7, and they're going to look like that guy right there. So we will give you guys a progress report and check back up on that. 24 hours have gone by, so we are going to take these bad boys off of the rack, and normally we would be watering them. But as you can see, right down here is what I wanted to show you guys. This right here is telling me that this does not need any water. So you're poking it and you're able to see that saturation almost at 100% saturation. So there's a little bit of water down in that tray. That means we don't want to water it anymore. And then same with this right here. So you can see the same kind of thing. This is a little bit less saturated, but you can literally see the soil's wet. So the reason why that is, as opposed to these plants up here, is because these tap roots are just little yet. So they aren't able to drink as much water as they will in a couple of days. So that's just something that you're gonna have to figure out. It's a touching, kind of feeling out process. I can only guide you guys and handhold for so much until you will get your own developed feel for how these things grow. So we're going to skip out on the watering for the night water on these 1020s in your guys' grow kit, and we're gonna revisit them in the morning. So we will see you guys then. We are back from the next day, 24 hours, and this is your grow kit right here. So it is time to water this, and we're pressing on that soil, and we can see that it's kind of moist to the touch, but it's definitely not saturated like it was before, and that is telling me that it is time for water. So I'm gonna put around 2 cups into the jar and just kind of see how much it wants and needs. So I'm gonna fill that bottom up just like so, just to where those 2 long nipples there are sort of submerged in the water. And I'm gonna press that down so that the roots are able to drink. And then I'm also gonna come over here to the peas and see what we got going here as well. So that is just enough water for them to start to drink. Now, as they get to this stage, the roots are going to be a little bit more demanding for water, so this is the time that you're going to check around every 8 hours to see if that they needed to be watered. We are on day 5, and this is going to be about another couple of days of growing. The sunflowers are going to start to lose their husks, and this is pretty much it. You set it and forget it for a little while until it's time for harvest. 24 hours, and we have some very delicious looking microgreens sprouting up. As you can see here, these sunflowers are flush with that deep green color. Those husks are going to start to fall off, so gently tousle them off, and that's going to make your life easier in the harvest section of the video. But then the peas are starting to get some legs underneath of them as well, and now it is time to water these bad boys. So we are going to do the same thing as we have been doing this whole time, guys. Just kind of look at it, see where the water level is at. So right now I can already see that there's no water in the pan, and if you look down in the soil is saturated, so it's not starving, but it is time for another meal of this H2O. So we're gonna pour it in that tray there, making sure that we're not over watering. You just wanna make sure the bottom of the tray is fully submerged in water. Look at the peas. The pea roots are so strong. Out of all the microgreens, I would say the peas are the most aggressive growers. They love to try and find that water. So you're going to let these go for another day. They should be ready by tomorrow to do a harvest, but we will see. 24/7 light schedule, and we will see you guys on the flip. 24 hours again, guys. Look how beautiful and flush this is here. Look at those sunflowers. I want you to pay attention to those sunflowers right here. As you start to see those second pairs of leaves starting to sprout, you know it is time to harvest, and you want to actually get it before. If you're giving them to restaurants or whatever your customers end up being that I teach you, you want to get them before those true leaves pop out. But I wanted to bring them to fruition so you guys knew what they looked like. These peas are looking good, so it's time to cut these bad boys off. This is the grow kit that we have just done a tutorial on, guys. If you haven't got one yet, be sure to grab one. This one's to launch your full-scale business. We got a variety pack as well if you want to experiment with different varieties of seeds like corn and wheatgrass and broccoli. But we're going to get right into cutting these right now. So we're going to start with the peas, and you're going to get yourself some shears. You can go on the link on the description here and pick up a nice pair of shears if you don't have a pair yet. Some people use knives for this. I love the shears. It's literally a squeeze, and it's a dream. Okay, so you're just going to grab it kind of like here. Just get a feel for how much you have in your hand, and then just snip off so you have a little bit of
an efficient cut. You're going to want to go right down as close as you can to those peas and just harvest them like so. You're cutting close to the peas, but you don't want to put the dirt in there so that you're putting dirt in your harvest. So you just keep on doing this here until you get that container filled up. So the reason why I like the quad kit the most is because it is designed to feed a family of 8 every 5 to 7 days, and you can also profit on that food if you're not going to eat it as well. So you can literally eat your business. And these containers right here, they are our best sellers at our farmers markets. So we move a lot of those, and you can expect to make around $25 with those. That's what we usually see. And one for good measure taste test. You can't beat the sweetness. So then either feed this to your chickens or put it in the ground outside in your raised bed box gardens, and you can have some snap peas. Now we're going to move on to the sunflower. Same process with this. You're just going to grab the sunflowers as much as you can gently, don't crush them, and then pull those lobes up like that. This is one of the most protein dense, nutrient packed items that you could possibly put in your mouth, especially the combination of the sunflowers and the peas. So if you're looking for a way to incorporate healthy eating into your diet, or you just want to experiment with new different foods, peas and sunflower seeds are my top picks. Second to that would probably be broccoli and red acre cabbage. Sunflowers also do a really good job of yielding. They're going to be your favorite microgreen on the scale if you're doing wholesale or if you're working with restaurants and selling by the pound. As you can see, I'm halfway through the tray here and I've already got this clamshell filled up. So for sake of the demonstration, we're just going to keep on going here and just have a heap and mound of sunflowers. Same thing, guys, just make sure that you're getting nice and close to that seed on the bottom. You are going to have husks go into the container. If you're going to be selling this to a restaurant, I recommend going through and sorting out and picking out those husks. If you grow them, there's a fine line between growing them to full maturity and growing them to where they still have the husks on them. So if you can master that, then you will absolutely be right in the pocket as far as being able to time when it's time to harvest. 5 to 7 days, guys, it's magnificent. I can't believe it. These things go from seed to harvest in 5 to 7 days. And there's not a single crop out there that has a turnaround quite like this, that yields so much nutrition, that yields so much demand in the marketplace. And to be honest with you, I wish everybody was microgreens farmers, because it would make the market that much larger. And once the market gets larger, it's like a pie. If the pie gets bigger, we all eat more. So there is your heaping plate of sunflowers, guys. And same story with this. If you put this in the ground again, it will replant. And what we're going to do, we're not going to be able to quite close this one, but what we will do is take our literature. So I will teach you guys, if you're interested in this, in the other video, the masterclass, how to put together your literature and how to put together your pricing sheets. So that goes right on there like this. I'll give you guys access to one of these printers that you can get for yourself. Easy as this. You press that print button, and this is really professional. It beats a Sharpie marker, and it communicates to whoever you're getting this product to that you're not messing around, that you take it seriously, and that you really have pride of your work. So you're gonna slap this right on the back here, and I'll show you guys the final product. Boom. In there like swimwear. So that's ready to go to the farmer's market. That's ready to stick in the fridge for a couple weeks. This is literally going to save people's lives in a food shortage. And it's every single week. So if you guys like the taste of them, which I'm sure you will, then you're all set. Things to look forward to in the next video. So I'll teach you guys how to make these business cards. You want it to look good but not too busy, and you want some crucial information on there for your customers. People pretty much know what a business card is and how to pull that off, but then there's some suggestions I have about some literature. So you have a recipe on the back, you have some facts. You know, the more educated that you can make people when you're presenting this to them, if they've never heard about it before, the more comfortable they'll be to pull out their wallet or their purse. And then the last thing, and this is my baby, guys. I was a chef previously to this, and this is a pricing sheet. This is what you walk into every single restaurant with. This is going to have all of your pricing for ounces and pounds. It's going to have all of your different options that you carry. So amaranth, arugula, basil, beets, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots, cilantro, dill, kale, leeks, mustard, spinach, purple kohlrabi, purple radish, red acre cabbage, sunflower, sweet pea, and Swiss chard. And then you're going to have some professionally crafted mixes as well. So for this one, my best mix actually has peas in them, and it's a GSH mix, I call it, garnish salad hybrid mix. It is perfect for chefs that want to have enough color and enough texture to pull off whatever it is that they're putting it on the plate. So if it's a $128 steak, they can go ahead and flop some color on there, some red acre cabbage, some purple radish, and if they want it to be docile enough to just be in a salad, then they can throw that broccoli and those peas right in the mix with whatever house salad or Caesar salad or whatever they're serving at that moment in time. So this is how you guys break it all down from start to finish. This is the final product. Like I said, stick it in the fridge or take it to a farmer's market right now, guys. There's demand for microgreens more than you even understand, and there's a bag waiting for you. So I really appreciate you guys. Make sure that you go to the Facebook group, Life of a Microgreen, if you guys want to get into a grower and cultivating culture. And make sure that you check out the website, growingfruition.com. There you can get these grow kits if you don't have one already. And we have seed varieties coming out, and there's a variety kit as well that you guys might be interested once you graduate from your sunflowers and your peas. Some heavy hitters here. These are the industry standard. But if you want to start experimenting with different varieties like we've got going on behind me, then I will be here to hold your hand as well through those things. I want you guys to succeed. I thank you for making it this far, and also be sure to get on that course. So that course is going to break everything down. It's going to walk you even more in depth, step by step, on how you guys can convert this to cold, hard cash. Okay, guys, just remember, when money does disappear, though, food is the ultimate currency. Growing your fruits, and God bless you.